Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be looking at Lake Las Vegas and Camp Golf. So I was kind of exploring this area on my own, and I thought it might be a good idea for a video. There's a lot of interesting things around here that could be easily missed, so let's dive into it. First we have Lake Las Vegas, and in this lake you're going to find some golf carts. So as the name implies, Camp Golf, this used to be a golf course, and in real life, Lake Las Vegas is real, and there are golf courses and nice houses surrounding it. So clearly the developers did their research, and they tried to recreate this area as faithfully as possible. I think it's funny that all of these golf carts are at the bottom of this lake though, wondering why. Now, this pipe here connects to the NCR Sharecropper farms. Now, something interesting is in the Fallout universe, this lake was created by the NCR. They dammed it off from Lake Mead. But in real life, this was created, obviously, in our world, today's world. But for whatever reason, in the Fallout universe, this lake was not created, and it was just attached to Lake Mead. So some differences in our universes. Next to Lake Mead, though, we have this camping ground with some picnic tables and a magazine, Lad's Life, but I had difficulty getting it because the camper is a bit small. If you don't know the location, here it is, Lake Las Vegas. It's kind of by the I-88 trading post and southeast of New Vegas. Now, going to Camp Golf, you have all of these tents situated on the former golf course, and you can tell it's a bit greener than other parts left over from the golfing days. Here we have the mess hall, which is just a giant tent with a lot of chairs and tables for the soldiers to eat. Now, if you come here, you can complete the quest, Flags of Our Foul-Ups. This is a quest where you have to help the Misfits, a group of soldiers at Camp Golf who have a very bad reputation. They're very lazy, so you have to help get them in shape, or you can help them manipulate the records to indicate they are good soldiers. Up to you. And the reason I say that is the Misfits actually have their own special tents. Also, outside this tent is a flagpole, which I thought was interesting. It's lasted a long time. Anyway, if you go in the Misfits tent, you'll notice it's a complete mess. And the other soldiers' tents, however, are very organized and very clean. So you can see a huge difference between the behavior and cleanliness of normal NCR soldiers and Misfits. And over here we have the main tent where we have Sergeant McCready and then the communications people just doing their work. Here we have some skill magazines, but you cannot take them without stealing them, which is kind of sucky. Then making our way towards the house resort, you have some more golf carts that are utterly destroyed. And then you can get a pretty good view of Camp Golf. And there's also a golf cart up here for some reason. And then over here we can see the House Resort, and this was owned by Mr. House, right, in the Lucky 38. This was his resort and his golf course, so some interesting information. Now, House Resort is actually a copy of the Jacobstown Resort. They're very identical, and a lot of the rooms are copy and paste. Inside the kitchen, we have a lot of good stuff, but again, it's stealing to take any of it, including the Nuka-Cola quartz. Over here, we just have some propaganda pictures that I thought were pretty cool. And then in this opposite room, we have a storage area and a portrait of Mr. House. Now, this is not confirmed, but he's standing in front of a robot, so many people speculate that this robot was Liberty Prime, or at the very least, a prototype of Liberty Prime. And of course, Liberty Prime is the giant robot from Fallout 3. Mr. House's company, Robco, did play a part in developing Liberty Prime, so it would make sense for Mr. House to have this portrait. Now, this portrait is also based on a portrait of Howard Hughes. So Mr. House's character is based on Howard Hughes, who was an American aerospace engineer, and you can see this picture of Hughes in front of an airplane is very reminiscent of House's portrait. Now, also in this room, as I mentioned before, it's kind of a storage room for the NCR. You're going to find a ton of ammunition boxes, but unfortunately, it's stealing to take any of it. Now, in this back area behind the front desk, you can find Hanlon's office, and inside, you can find a key card that is the Lucky 38 VIP key card. This key card will grant you access to Mr. House's chamber. So if you wanted to kill Mr. House in the very early game, you would want to come here first, get the key card, and you can access Mr. House's chamber. And as you can see now, we're on the second floor, and there's a lot of hotel or bedrooms up here that are occupied by NCR Rangers, and a lot of these rooms are just copy and paste from Jacobstown, which I already did a video on. However, there's one more very interesting thing here. If you go to the balcony, we can talk to Chief Hanlon, who I mentioned earlier, right, his office, and he has some very interesting dialogue.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Goods.
And the reason I highlighted this conversation with Chief Hanlon is in the Fallout TV show, as I showed a clip from, you can see the effects of the NCR and the local communities in creating this desert, these sand dunes. Now, of course, that part of California, Southern California, is very arid, even in our world. But obviously in the Fallout universe, you have the atomic apocalypse and the mismanagement of the communities also playing a role, and we see those effects in the Fallout TV show, so pretty cool. And the last thing I wanted to check out was this pipe. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this pipe goes all the way to the NCR Sharecropper Farms. So here's Camp Golf, here's the NCR Sharecropper Farms. So is it possible to follow the entire pipe all the way to the farms? That's what I wanted to know. Now, upon walking with this pipe, I noticed there's lots of leaks on this pipe, so, the NCR might want to look into that. But here we get this really weird section of the pipe where it kind of goes over the road. Now, as far as I know, this pipe was built by the NCR, right? They made Lake Las Vegas, so I don't know why they would make that section over the road like that. Obviously, in the Fallout universe, we don't really see cars used that often, and I've never seen a truck being used, but hey, maybe the NCR does have some trucks. Anyways, the pipe leads to the East Pump Station, where we can start the quest, Hard Luck Blues, which involves you going to Vault 34 to fix the radiation leak, which is poisoning the crops. Now, over here by Durable Dan's sacked caravan, the pipe ends next to these two bridges, and then here's the sacked caravan. And there's a little bit section of the pipe sticking out over here, but after this, it is gone. It disappears, so I don't know where it goes from here, but obviously the pipe really does connect to the Sharecropper Farms, so pretty cool attention to detail on the part of Obsidian. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a bit longer because we were investigating a very kind of large place. As always, if you have recommendations for the next video, please post them in the comments section below. Until next time.